ba 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 da ba 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 ba. Wow, 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 wow. Hi, I I might be making this video like literally 6 days late. Shut the fuck up. You watched this anyway. Why are you complaining? Anyway, sorry. On a more wholesome note, guys, I made a new video that you don't need to read up on something for, and it might be related to something about my life. Would you look at that? Anyway, we're back to unediting these videos, and I'm gonna ramble a little bit because I had to go back and look at the notes that Egan put because I was a lethargic mess when I was reading Chainsaw Man, but reading is a really interesting way of putting it because I flick through the manga myself just now and I'm like, wow, there's a reason why I really like this series, and it's the fact that I think Fujimoto just does an an amazing job of just sometimes just letting the like pictures do like the work. We saw it a lot, especially in part one, in like the most like devastating like moments of it. I think they work really well when we see it and look back, right? Look back's what they're pictures. There are pictures and look back. I actually never read look back. Should I be crucified? Probably. But we also see in Goodbye Eri. Goodbye Eri was again essentially a picture book, but you know, you know what's even better than picture books? Tragic romance. I was trying to like put together like the words of it, but it's just I think it's really cute. Like I know it's in the worst case scenarios and all that sort of things, and we've got some serious conversations about both Denji and Asa, and Yoru's acting in a pretty fucked way, right? Like there, as much as there's understanding of hey, Asa's into him, I don't know, but I think Boodsboo put this pretty well where in the comments, good comment, you know, golden star. Um just discussing like retrospectively about morality and how there shouldn't like Denji isn't the best character, and I think some of that was the point. Like I forget if it was the previous one or the one before it, but like remember when we were told to like care about this like random ass guy that he killed that was caught in like the crossfire? Like like who the fuck cares? And like about that because I really could not care less. Fire Devil, you're not it's not working on me. But just like everyone's got their own story and everyone's their main character and I think that's kind of beautiful because Asa was kind of a main character for a little bit. You know, we've seen the torch kind of be like carried on or interchanged between the two characters, and we have Asa who is really like I think she's like really making an attempt to understand Denji. And it's the almost like you're too good for me meme, where I think as Asa, right? Not Yoru, who is the impulsive, and I mean that could be symbolism of something, you know, not shown in the greatest way, but in the most amicable way. But, you know, like, I guess the rawness of like love that can be sometimes. And, you know, unfortunately, fortunately, I don't know how you view relationships. Some people look at sex as the opening thing, which is why we see themes of it, right? Denji is motivated by sex, but hey, once he, I don't know, like loses his virginity, like proper, right? Will he just be like, yeah, okay, how do I put this? It's like the guy dream of like wanting to be rich to get like a car. And I think like eventually getting there and having someone that like having the goal of sex is byproduct of trying to actually just have a nice, loving relationship and some affection and some intimacy that is reciprocal and healthy. I don't know. I don't think it'll ever be entirely healthy, but it's interesting. It's an interesting read. I did not read Scum Swish. I watched Scum Swish, and it's intriguing. It's intriguing to see how people figure it out, and unfortunately, with the hardships that they go through, for them to come out in the way that they do. Remember, Chainsaw Man is not gonna have a happy ending, and I'm okay with that. And I think the direction we're so far off just talking about the chat. Maybe it's related, right? Maybe you feel it's super related. But I think it's quite neat. I think it's quite neat that Asa is really trying to, I don't know, like they're saving each other. And I think in their own ways, in its own way, I think that's pretty interesting. Now we got Falling Devil. I don't know, like sometimes it just feels like Falling Devil is just kind of a background character that is doing significant damage in the foreground, if that makes sense. But um like I noticed that with last time. I could be wrong, right? I'm also just not that, I don't know, like Falling Devil doesn't really do it for me, but here we go, right? Like we got gunshots, classic war devil like behavior, but more importantly, budda, 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 budda.